is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. What's up, y'all? It's a daily go-getterism show all up in your area. Feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. So tonight, here it is, Hump Day Wednesday. You know, now y'all might say, no, it's not Hump Day Wednesday no more because we done, it's after midnight and now we done phased into Thursday, Throwback Thursday. But no. You know what I mean? We start work in the morning, but not representing the day ahead, but the day before. So we on Wednesday type time. We still hump day. Yeah. My name's Son 7. What's yours? Everything's gonna be all right. For sure. Hump day. Yeah, hump day. Yeah. Son 7, Mac 11, Tevin, Gable, Livingston, Bramble. Yeah. Y'all hear me all right there? Make sure you hit the like button. So we got a hell of a topic tonight, man. We gotta have this talk, and this is gonna be a goodie. Jealous of the way that you were raised. Well, really, jealous of the way that you grew up. If you ever been with somebody that feels that way, they feel like you grew up having everything and they claim like they had nothing. Now, there may be some legitimate ways to feel this way. But see, the word jealousy makes it totally invalid, totally illegit. But we're going to get into it, yo. Me and you. You know how we do. We just word. Yeah. So, like I was saying, if somebody is always using the fact that you had it good growing up, that your parents loved you and took care of you and wouldn't let you be out here struggling and not knowing how you was going to eat the next day or, get the things that you wanted. If they look for a way to always demean you based on that, then they hating on you. And hate is jealousy. Jealousy is hate. So what do you do when the person that you love, your love of your life or your spouse is hating on you because you grew up good, because your parents paid attention to you and they took their ass to work and bust their ass in order to give you a good life? What do you do about that? They hating on you. So what you going to do? Now, this affects a lot of people because the person that's closest to you might be acting like, like they not hating on you. But every chance they get, they always talking about how hard they had things. So whenever they get something, they act like, they had to jump through hoops or they had to get it out of the mud. And like, you ain't never have to do nothing. Like everything was served to you on a silver platter. Like the world treated you better than everybody else. And sometimes, like I said, it can be done in a playful way, but sometimes it's real. And it starts to come out in other ways. So we gonna get into it tonight. Yo, that's right. I said we going to get into it tonight. My name is Son. I said we going to get into it tonight. Hit the like button. I said we are going to get into this thing. And that's right, it's the Daily Go-Getterism show. It's the Daily Go. What? Think it's not when it is. Think it won't when it is. What? So we beat the drum and we give them some. Yeah, we gonna have some fun tonight. Yo, we gonna talk. Y'all see that number. 267-874-1949. Sun always shines. Yeah, baby. So just because you were able to have sneakers on your feet before they were all run down, you know what I mean, holes in them, looking dogged and everything, you know, they telling you that you had everything. You had everything, and I had nothing. I had nothing. I had nothing. Yeah, that ain't cool. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Cheryl Halsey. Yo. Dimples D's. What's going on, y'all? Yeah. Y'all good? I hope everybody's all right. Yeah. Jealous. That green-eyed monster ugly, man. Once you get a taste of being close to somebody or married to somebody that really resents how you grew up, how you get things, maybe even the things that you know. So your parents taught you a bunch of stuff and theirs ain't teach them nothing. And they looking at you sideways. That's what we talk. Yeah. Yeah. Love is love. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go get up some show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about they jealous of the way you grew up tonight. They jealous of the way that you were raised tonight. They don't like the way your parents were involved in your development. They feel some kind of way about it. And every time they get a chance, they always trying to talk about that no matter what you got, you didn't have to work for it. You didn't have to struggle for it. You didn't have to go for it. You didn't have to work. Yo. And they hating. They hating. They hating. They the one that you date. They hating. Why? Always hating. They hating. They hating. They hating. Ain't no way around it. They hating. They hating. I'm waiting for them to stop hating. I'm waiting one day to stop hating. It ain't gonna stop though. The only way that's ever going to stop is if you shut it down. Now, how will you shut it down, though? How will you shut it down? Oh, shit, this motherfucker here. Century, you back for the bullshit. Fool shit. You are back for the bullshit once again. Coming through 3 nights in a row, my friend. I guess you can say that with friends, you ain't got nothing better to do but attend this little party, little classroom. Yo, you coming through. Yo, your ass doomed. No pause. Yo, I talk about the balls in my drawers, getting the fuck out spraying on the walls. Y'all don't understand my plight or my fight to make sure that I come on the stage and get right. My name is the SUNSEVENFIVETWO. You understand the shit? So, yeah, this is my show, and I'm gonna show you how I go. Everything is gonna, All right, so this is what we're going to do. This is what's we're going. We're talking about they jealous of the way that you grew up. They jealous of the way that you were raised. They hating on the fact that you got a good head start or just a good start. It don't necessarily have to be a head start. A head start is like when everybody else is back here and you got a chance to start from here. You may have started where everybody else was. It's just that some people had to start all the way back there. So, you know, of course, when a person is hating on you, they're never going to look at it your way. They're always going to fail to look at your situation in a logical way. Why? Because they don't want you to be right. That's how hate goes. Hate deliberately makes sure that you get invalidated at every turn. Hate always wants to make sure that you never get validated. Hate always wants to ensure that it looks like you should have never had a chance to play, to compete, to win, to grab the crown, to get the trophy, to win the championship. But what happens when the person that's hating on you, the person that's jealous of you, is that person that you sleep with, the person that you live with, the person that you had kids with, the person that you swap bodily fluids with on a regular basis at that. On a regular basis, baby. So what do y'all know? What do y'all know about somebody being jealous of the way you grew up? It doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lover, but so often it is. And it causes a communication breakdown that's really not easy to fix. Like that's a problem that's one of them problems that you gotta it's something you gotta deal with. It's something you gotta deal with. But you may have had a friend, a good friend, but every time you turn around, like you telling them that you about to get something that you do, it could be something as simple as like, yo, I went and bought a new pair of jeans today. You know what I mean? I ain't bought no jeans in a while. Yeah, I guess you did buy some jeans. All that money you make, you know, if I had a job like you, if I had a job making as much money as you make, I would probably, you know, go out and buy a new pair of jeans too. Like, but, and I'm not even bullshitting. That's literally the way hate works. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could go out and buy a new pair of jeans. You probably got some sneaks too. Did you get some sneaks too? I would get some sneaks if I was you, you know, because, you know, if my parents could afford to send me to the kind of school that they sent you to, and I was able to get the kind of job and the kind of career that you got, yeah, I guess I would, but it would be all jeans and sneakers every day for me too. Dumb shit. But that's how hate sounds. That's literally how hate sounds. And cats will push the envelope on that. They will literally push the envelope like that. So it could be the people that's closest to you. It could literally be the people that are closest to you, straight hating on you, jealous, feeling some kind of way. And you know what I think is funny? You know what I think is funny? I think it's funny how people use the word hate instead of the word jealousy or the word jealous, because they know jealous is like, like it has a deep meaning. You know what I mean? Like normally when a person is jealous of you, they probably don't like you either. See, a person can hate on you and still claim to like you. They can still claim to admire on you. You know what I mean? They just baby jealous of you. They just baby jealous. What's going on, JJ? You know what I mean? They ain't full-fledged, full breed pedigree jealous of you. They just petty jealous. They hating. Like you can call somebody a hater and they probably won't get all of that bent out of shape. They might even admit that they, you know, I was hating a little bit. I ain't go. I was hating a little bit. But if you tell somebody that they jealous of you, they looking at like, hold on. You know, cat might buck up on you. Like, wait a minute. Ain't nobody got no reason to be jealous of you. Ain't nobody got no time to be jealous of you. You know what I mean? Why would I be jealous of you when I'm better than you? I have more things than you. I could do things better than you. Yeah, nobody wants to be jealous. They will take the hate. They will take the hate on the chin. You know what I mean? You got tapped on the chin. Yeah, all right. I'll take the hate on the chin. But jealousy? Oh, hold on, because it makes it more personal. It makes it feel more personal. Jealousy and hate is the same thing. They have the exact same elements in them. But jealousy kind of means that you can't turn it off. See, I guess people feel like I can turn hate off. Yeah, I was just hating because I wanted the shit that he had. I'm like, ain't that jealousy too? Nah, because when you say I'm jealous, that's like saying I want not just what he has, but I want to be him. Like I want to be her. I mean, am I wrong? Y'all can let me know. My man Jay Sloan is in the house. My man Jason Sloan is in the house. I mean, you know, you never know when you want to run into a situation like this. And if it's the first time you've ever run into a situation like this, it's going to throw you off. You're going to feel some kind of way about it. Like, wait, somebody might have to pull your coattail about it. Like, you know, such and such is jealous of you. Because you might be like, no, they not. They just, that's just the way they are. They just be hating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or like they poking fun, but outsiders can see it. They can see it like, no, I'm trying to tell you. Plus, they may have some correspondence, some intel that on the low, when you ain't around, they not only be hating, they be talking. Like, yeah, such and such really ain't shit. And I really don't like them. And they really don't deserve nothing. And they would have never had a Mustang 5.0 if it wasn't for their dad that used to work at Roman Haas. If his dad wasn't an engineer at Roman Haas, he wouldn't have been able to have no drop top, the Ford Mustang 5.0 with the hammered up rims and the deep ass dark tint with the Alpine system, with the tape player in there where you can see where you are on the tape, like that joint. What's good? T Carry, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peepers going directly into your site. Yes, y'all. So yeah, other people will pull your coattail about who is jealous of you or who's hating on you. You know what I mean? And they may do it with a little bit of authenticity that you may not even want to face up to. And that's a real thing. When somebody close to you, somebody that you actually like is hating on you or jealous of you, you don't always want to acknowledge that shit. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I ain't really feeling it. I ain't trying to deal with it. JJ Visno says, I had a couple of friends over the years make comments more than once about me having Corvettes and Mercedes and a house because my family was rich and what I was given. You are talking about exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. So, so let me get this straight. Your parents did whatever they had to do to give you a good life. Does that mean they didn't show you how to make it on your own? Or did they just give you everything? They just gave you everything? Because from what I know, well-to-do parents teach their children how to be well-to-do also. Like, even though I hate this example, Donald Trump showed Eric, Ivanka, and Donald Trump Jr. and evidently, what's the youngest Trump name? Because he worth like 100 million now, all out the gate. But he showed them how to do this. Like, yo, I'm getting money out here. I'm not just gonna be paying your way everywhere. I'm gonna show you how to get this money too. Why would you be rich? What would be the point in being wealthy, having generational wealth, and you don't teach your babies how to roll it over so your grandkids and your great grandkids and each generation after that don't have theirs? What's the point? I can't see it. JJ says, my friends barely or rarely worked. I worked 3 jobs and put myself through school. I worked 80 to 90 hours a week, most of my adult life. Oh, his name Barron. Yeah, Barron Trump. Y'all heard he worth like 125 million. I'm like, we like 19? Doing what, Barron? I thought you was retarded. You know what I mean? That's what they say, he was retarded. He was a little, he was a little janky. You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought like Trump was making sure they kept him out of the spotlight. Like, yo, don't put the youngest. Shoot, the older ones ain't all that smart. Like he liked Ivanka because he wanted to smash his own daughter. But Eric and Don Jr., he don't like them. He don't like them. He don't. They ain't handsome enough for him. Go figure. But yeah. So they wanna act like you've never worked for yours. like you said, you worked 80 to 90 hours a week, put yourself through school, you had to bust your ass. So you had ambitions, you like nice shit. So you know what I mean? You used to whipping them good motors. You whipping the good motors, you going to the good dealerships. Yeah. So people who don't have shit, haven't been shown how to get anything, act like because you've gotten something, you've pulled off a magic trick or something. Because there's no way you could have actually read about it, attended seminars, got mentorship, tutoring, counseling, training. No way you could have done any of those things, right? No. Yeah, you must have just have been given it on a silver platter. A silver platter. I get it. I don't like it, but I totally get it. And when you like you going through that with your friends, jealous of the way you grew up. Now, let me ask you something about your friends, JJ. Do they know? Had they known you since you were a kid? I mean, what would make them say that you only got it because, you know, your parents were rich or whatever? Like, what part of the game is that? Do they know your parents? Have they met your parents? You know what I mean? Y'all homeboys. You said since middle school. Interesting. So they have been around for a while, but they hating. You said they don't even work. So why they running around here getting high all the time? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times when people be hating this because they drinking too much, getting high, you know, smoking, popping pills and sniffing coke and all of that shit. Like, where these broke motherfuckers be having listen, yeah, sniffing cocaine is a very expensive habit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to sniff cocaine, you need to have a job. You need to have a career. You need to have an income. You can't be on welfare messing around with no powder cocaine. That ain't gonna get it. You'll never be able to get high. You'll never be able to get high off a county check. Welfare. But anyway, that's what we're talking about tonight. Man, listen. Jealous of the way you grew up. Hating on dumb shit. Hating on the schools you went to. You didn't. I had to go to Germantown High School in King. Jason know what I'm talking about. My parents couldn't afford to send me to Central. Central is a public school. Motherfucker, you ain't had a grades to go to Central. Yeah, well, if my parents would have had money, then I wouldn't have had to have concentrated on other things, you know, like trying to get money or being depressed or feeling some kind of way because we had struggles in the crib and bills wasn't paid and lights wasn't on and heat wasn't blowing and all of that. I wasn't like you. I ain't grow up in Mount Airy. Like, yes, the fuck you did. You grew up right around the corner from me. Yeah, but you lived on Vernon Road. This shit crazy. All right, so here we go. Jason says that dude I mentioned earlier fails to address the personal accountability issue at all. With that part, JJ says, one thought I should pay his way for everything like he was my girlfriend because I make more than him, but he didn't work until he was 40. God damn. 40? Carla, what's going on? Carla, what's going on, ma? JJ says, my family guided me and tried to deter me from doing dumb shit. That was sort of successful. That's what's up. But The have-nots always think that the people who have just didn't get it the right way. Like, Jason said, you just described the conversation I had with dudes who also live on Vernon. Yeah. Yo, Jay, I'm gonna go back in time and hate on you for living in Mount Airy, because I'm from Germantown. Like, I'm going back. It's officially and unofficially Throwback Thursday. So I'm gonna go back and hate on you. Like, I'm Mount Airy niggas. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out. Them 18 bus catching ass motherfuckers ain't never have to struggle. They ain't got no trains around their way. They ain't got no trolleys. I can't take it. This is too much. This is too much. Oh man. You know what I'm talking about, Jay? These 18 bus catching ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about no struggle. If you catch, look, I don't care what nobody say. If you caught the 18 bus to home or to school, you know what I mean? If you had to catch the 18 to get to Broad and Olney, then you ain't struggle. The 18 bus don't take you through no struggle neighborhoods. Wadsworth ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out. Oh, I'm sorry. Wadsworth is different. It's different than the other. Yeah, I'm gonna hate on these Wadsworth cats. Yo, if you ain't from Philly, you don't understand what I'm talking about. People from Philly, uptown, know exactly what I mean. Oh yeah, Wadsworth is their own shit. They don't fuck. They separate from the rest of Mount Airy. I'm gonna go back and hate on them too. JJ says, I grew up on a farm. We learned to work early, like it or not. You grew up on a farm? Well, you get some shit. I never would have thought. That's crazy. Bite my tongue. Grew up on a farm. I would say that you grew up in an agricultural background. You were exposed to the WB Saul way of things. That's a Philly school reference too. All right, my people. All right, my people. Jealous of the way you grew up. Jealous of the way you were brought up. Jealous of the way you were raised. Yo, this shit is real, son. That shit, man. I don't know. That green-eyed monster be doing a job, son. It be doing a job. It's something that we gotta deal with. You understand what I'm saying? It's something we gotta deal with. But it's okay. It's okay. One thing I've learned through all of my years, we all have to struggle in some way, somewhere, because we all have challenges, different challenges throughout our lives. But you might be in love with somebody, sleeping with somebody, married to somebody who is totally disrespectful of that. Totally disregarding whatever you had to do, and totally being disrespectful every time you score an accomplishment. They always trying to downgrade or minimize your accomplishment. Like, no, fuck out of here. And somehow everything that you get is because your parents had something. Explain me that. Jason says, my whole neighborhood was filled with North Philly niggas who moved uptown in the 70s. That's true. 70s and 80s, and swore that they were still there. Shaking my head. Meanwhile, quiet as kept. I actually started out in Brickyard. Shh. That's low. That's not up. That's not the uptown. That's no. Mm-mm. I would never accept you from Brickyard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mainly because we would have had the gang war. We would have we would have had the gang war when I was younger. The yard. Brickyard Hollow, Pulaski Town, Haines Street. That was the struggle. That was the struggle. Yes, it was a struggle. Ugh. Ugh. Everything was heavy. But it's all good though. Messing around. But I mean, on some real shit. You know, if friends, lovers, spouses. Jay said I hated Brickyard. I hear you. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Germantown Avenue, Worcester Street. Shout out to all Ashmead Place. All right, JJ says some of it is life choices. It's just life choices. One friend was jealous over women and cars. He got married young and had kids. I stayed single, invested, and bought toys. I'm glad you said that. Because what I started to say was, you know, when you in love with somebody, good friends with somebody, you know, sleeping with somebody, married, whatever. And just because you may have grown up in a two-parent family, you know, people who grew up without a dad or without a mom or whatever, you know, sometimes they can pull off they can pull off a hatred that can be, you're like, look, man, I could see if you running around here talking about because my mom and my dad, everything is my mom and my dad, kind of turning the screw because you know somebody else didn't have that. That's one thing. But I mean, in all reality, isn't everybody supposed to grow up in a two-parent family? A lot of people don't, especially people who look like me. Of course, a lot of people don't. But it's, you know, growing up in a two-parent family ain't a flex unless that's what you always wanted and were never able to have. And so you're looking at things through a different type of lens. And you got hate colored lenses. Look at you wearing those Alpinas, those mega designs, those Porsche designs, those Ray-Bans with hate colored lenses. Green lenses. Green. JJ says everyone has their cross to bear. We may just not see what others are dealing with. Exactly. There are a lot more struggles than just financial. But you know, people who are having financial struggles, they do not see past that. You know, they honestly believe that if they can just get their money straight, then they can put together anything else that's wrong. They can endure any other kind of trouble. Meanwhile, there have been plenty of people who made really, really great money or even came from money and then suffer from a lifetime of depression. Some of them have, many of them have taken their own lives, or fell into, or taken their lives by drugs. You know, getting deep into a drug addiction, that kind of shit. My people's Brana Haguski is all up in the house. What's going on, my bro? What up, my dude? Jason says, JJ, that's that accountability part I mentioned. You made different choices. Word. JJ says, I've also known people with everything, but they just couldn't find happiness. I know them. I know that kind. Plenty of them. Let's say you grew up in an environment where a lot of love was shown, maybe outward pouring of affection. Maybe you grew up in an environment where they just showed you how to be proud of yourself, how to have pride in who you are and what you do and where you come from and where you're going. Instill confidence in you. And, confidence is very, very attractive to some people. But for other people, it can be offensive. Offensive. I'm talking about real confidence. I'm not talking about, being a braggart, or I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really, like, when you like who you are, genuinely like who you are. You may admire other people, but you want to be who you are and what you are. For other people who always wanted to be somebody else, that can look a little weird to them. That can look a little weird to them. And so when they see you trying to capitalize on yourself, build yourself, expand yourself, elevate yourself, advance yourself, and they like, damn, I wanted to be Spider-Man, and this motherfucker is just trying to be the man or woman. Yeah. And you would have never done that if your father wouldn't have been in the house. That's what they'll tell you. That's what they'll tell you. Juana says P. Diddy is a multimillionaire, but rotting in prison. Money can't solve everything. It can't. But like I said, people who don't have money do not see it that way. Now, I'm not saying, see, when you have enough money to go shopping and go to dinner and have money left over, money in the bank, means you see things a different way. But when you're down, like, let's say you work 40, 50 hours a week and you just don't make enough. You don't make enough. You don't make enough money you barely are making enough for the rent. You're hardly making enough for the utilities. God forbid you have 2 or 3 kids. And guess what? You just happen to have 2 or 3 kids. They want shit. They need shit. You got a woman that wants shit. She might work too. Maybe she make more money than you. You know what I mean? And that's a point of contention for you. So you hating on her because, she got a good job and you blaming her parents for showing her how to do this shit. And see, that lack of self-esteem, man, that lack of self-esteem plus being broke, because you can have money and still lack self-esteem. But when you broke and your self-esteem is low, whoo-wee, that's a starter hater cocktail right there. A lot of shit hinges on those factors. A lot hinges on those factors. JJ says, I didn't understand it as a young person, especially while with a particular ex who always wanted more, bigger and better. But my dad always said, he said, your dad always said, if you can't be happy with what you have, nothing will ever satisfy you. Okay. All right. Jason says, people whose minds won't let them be happy won't be satisfied by attaining anything external. The problem is in them and in their minds and brains. But you can't tell them that. You can't tell them that because they think that they have a tangible way of improving their condition. So all they need is a couple of dollars. If I can get this, because the way that they see it, my girl or my wife will respect me. Or these bitches out here will give me some ass and love once they see that I'm getting money. That's what they believe. And you can't talk them out of that because unfortunately, people like that are totally unable to see their worth when they don't have no money. So they literally purchase their worth. They literally purchase their worth. And that's something that we just have to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? We got to deal with that shit. We dealing with it. We dealing. We dealing with it. JJ says, in defense of those folks, when it rains, it pours. And we can defend them all we want. The question that you have to ask yourself at some point is, why can't they ever find a way to defend you? You ain't doing nothing but trying to live your life and do you. You know, you like Master Ace, you writing a letter to the better. A letter to the better, baby. And it's personal. It's real personal. But yeah, hating on the way that you were brought up. Oh yeah, you were brought up in the house. We didn't have a stable home. We moved around a lot. Okay. We didn't live in a house. I didn't grow up in a house. I grew up in an apartment. We had a roof over your head, right? Yeah, but we didn't have a house. Or they grew up in a smaller house. Like we only had one bathroom. You had 2.5 baths. You had a bathroom down in your basement. We ain't had nothing like that. Yeah, you had a bathroom upstairs, and your mom, your mom and your dad room, they got their own private bathroom, and you had a bathroom in the basement. 2.5 baths. You literally grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. In your mouth. 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 What was the name of the kid on Silver Spoons? It wasn't Richie. That's Richie Rich. What was the name of the Ricky? His name was Ricky. What? The Ricker. Remember that shit? Remember that show Silver Spoons back in the... I don't know, JJ, I know you too young. I think. Jason, you probably remember that shit. That was Ricky Schroeder's. Ricky Schroeder, that was his show. Silver Spoons. I used to like that show. But what do I know? I used to like Punky Brewster too. What the fuck? Satan says shit. If you had a basement, then you were living the high life. Ain't that some shit? I've had a finished basement too. Ooh, y'all got a TV down there, bar down there, got a pool table, got a couch. Look, you even got a Twister set. You know, the game Twister, But seriously, hating on the way you were brought up, hating on a basement, Satan, that shit is real. Hating because you grew up in a house with a basement, hating on a basement or garage. We had to park on the street. We ain't had no driveway. We ain't had no alleyway. We ain't had no. One thing about hate is that it knows no logic. But what do you do when the person that's closest to you is the one that's hating constantly? That's the one that always has something to say about every time you come up, every time that you do well, every time that you win, every time you're in the lead, every time that you accomplish something, every time that you score. You could be better than them in basketball. You're just better than them in basketball. Oh yeah, well I guess you would be better than me in basketball because your mom could afford to send you to basketball camp. So you was balling with Rasheed Wallace and them. Real shit. Your parents having means and taking care of you to the highest degree, doing the best that they could, keeping you involved with extracurricular activities, trying to stop your idle mind from becoming the devil's playground. And motherfuckers will hate on that shit. It might be your wife or your husband. Because if your spouse or your girl or your man is truly jealous of the way that you grew up, they will try to invalidate any and everything that you get. Somehow, any and everything that you get becomes tied to your parents and your upbringing. Why? Because they didn't have the same kind of parents and upbringing. So everybody has their own path. We don't have the same path, but they want the same path. In their mind, they need the same path you have. They don't want to forge ahead on their own. Well, they kind of do. But they got one thing about a hater is haters are too busy trying to make sure that you don't get any more than you have. They're not concentrating on advancement. They're too busy trying to make sure that you never get shit. And this is the person that you swapping bodily fluids with, dog. This is the person that you shit. Yeah, that person. It's disgusting, Tony. It's embarrassing, Tony. It's embarrassing. JJ says, I didn't have a Twister game. It's never too late. It's never too late, man. Get the game of life, too. Satan says, rich pricks with basements and garages. I had a damn hole in the ground to play. Oh, my God. This is what we doing tonight. Is it? Is this what we doing tonight? Lordy. Lordy, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right. JJ says, I had a childhood neighbor tell me recently how jealous he was of our house growing up. It was probably the cheapest house in the neighborhood. My dad and grandfather built it for $14,000. Well, see, shit, back in the day, you could get a decent property for that much money. Shit, I bet you it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars now. Maybe millions. Jason said, I had a girlfriend who grew up hard, including time in foster care. Oh God, okay. She was the worst. She was the worst with that shit. No emotional regulation and wouldn't listen, but hated on me for being able to keep a job. Oh Lord. Spent time in foster care, which means that she grew up with parents who were neglectful, possibly abusive. Definitely, like, it ain't easy to get in foster care. There have to be some present things going on in order to make it to foster care. Yeah. JJ says mom would be getting a condo if your shit was worth millions. Well, I'm just saying. I know it ain't worth no. I bet you it's worth. If y'all bought it for 14,000, I'm sure it's worth 10 times 14,000. So that's 140,000, but it's probably worth a whole lot more than that. Property values skyrocketed in the past 30 years. Yeah, man, but yeah, your girl, yeah, like I said, it's not that easy to make it into foster care. It's not. But the pain that's associated with ever having to go to foster care or be put in being placed in foster care, they carry around that pain, and they carry around they carry around that bitterness. You know, I mean, and there really is a lot of pain to that. And I'm not trying to justify how she treated you, but that really, I mean, think about being separated from your parents because your parents weren't doing the right things with you, because they were abusive, because they were alcoholics, they were drug addicts, because they were abusive to maybe your siblings and shit, even if it wasn't you. Because the only way you can be put in foster care is if your parents somehow put you in harm's way. So you had to become a ward of the state. Jason said her mom was on crack. Yeah, that'll do it. Her mom was on crack and was in jail most of the time she was growing up. Yeah, that'll do it. That's definitely foster care right there. Y'all swapping war stories. Young niggas on the rise. Jealous niggas I despise. Yeah, all right. Satan said, the question is, did she have a basement? You know what you you doing a lot tonight. Word up. My man Jeff Sprayberry, what's good? What up, Jeff? And Satan said, no. JJ says, Jason, I've mentioned before, I seem to attract a certain type. Crazy. I understand. I know how it be. But yeah. Everybody I've ever known that had to go in foster care, they carried around some heavy baggage, some heavy emotional baggage. I mean, justifiably so. But what's not justifiable is that the person who may be taking care of you emotionally and may be supportive of you and who loves you and who may be romantically linked to you is the person that you decided to direct your ire towards. That's where your ire is going. So your venom, your wrath needs to go to them. Somehow in your mind that makes sense. Somehow in your warped mode of thinking, yeah, that's what to do. Yeah, this is how we gonna do it. This is how we gwine. This is how we gwine. So yeah, man. Hating on the way you were brought up. You didn't have to steal. You didn't have to rob anybody. You know, And the other thing, you didn't have to sell drugs or sell ass or scam motherfuckers out of money. And plenty of people will try to discount you or discredit you or discredit your hard work or your accomplishments because you didn't have to do what they did. Oh, that must just be, okay, that's just a monitor. Man, when I tell y'all I tried hard to preserve this shirt today, because that mishap yesterday just had me on edge. I was like, I'm going to make it till tonight with this shirt. I pledge from this day forth. JJ says, crazy breeds crazy. If you hang around that shit long enough, it rubs off. You ain't never done lied. You ain't never done lied with that. Satan says no, but if I had a basement, I could have done any of those. Right. You need a basement. I need a hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer out justice. I'd hammer out the love between my brothers. If you had a basement, I'd hammer out pool tables. I'd hammer out a bar, a stock bar. If he only had a basement. If he only had a basement, things would have been different. They would have been different in this world. We're going to get you a basement. We're going to get you a basement. Satan, we getting you a basement. But because your name is Satan, you probably use that basement to do shit like Dexter did. You know, Dexter on Showtime. So I'm going to try to trust you. I'm going to try. I'm him. Word mother for real. All right. So, yeah. Jealous of the way you were brought up. Finding a way to try to minimize your struggle or diminish your accomplishments or discredit anything that you do. And they really feel like that shit is going to fly. Like that shit is going down. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Oh, yeah. Jason says, you taking it way back with that If I Had a Hammer song. Shit, that was my shit. You know what I mean? I learned that in music class at Henry. I know you learned it too. You had to have learned it there too. You had to. We're going to look it up. I haven't sung that shit in a while. We going for it. Let's go. All right. Let me just do the lyrics. All right, here we go. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. The lyrics are moving. If I had a wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger. I'd hammer out a warning. I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Doom, 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 doom. If I had a hammer, no, I'm sorry. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning. I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out day. I only like the hammer part. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Are they singing? Let me see if we can get some audio. Can we get audio? Oh, no. We not doing that. That shit took me to a fucking Amazon music page. Oh, you crazy. Niggas, you crazy. You crazy. All right, let me get back to let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, here we go. JJ says, I ain't confessing to anything. It's your basement. Wait. I ain't confessing to anything. It's your basement. Ain't where you want to be doing that stuff. Just saying, use someone else's basement. Oh man, the basement is where it all went down. Yes, it is. That was the music teacher's name, Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, yes. Trini Lopez. Yes. Mr. Clark. Yeah. The music teacher. Satan says, I wouldn't know. I wasn't lucky enough to have a basement. That's your chorus for the night. Cool. Jason said, Satan, you had the Carl Childress Sling Blade upbringing. Was Satan talking about when him sticking on that basement shit? That shit remind me of remember on The Sopranos? Remember on The Sopranos? And Tony Soprano had an uncle. What was his name? Uncle Anthony or some shit like that. And he was always talking about some, yeah, you never had the makings of a varsity football player. Remember, he was like, you never had the makings of a varsity football player. And yo, he used to be fucking Tony up with that shit. Tony would be mad. Oh, yeah, Uncle Junior, thank you. Uncle Junior, oh my God. You never had the makings of varsity football player. Tony would be so fucking mad, like, yo. That shit was stuck in his craw. He couldn't shake it. He's like, you never had the makings. You never had the makings of a varsity football player. Uncle Junior was the biggest hater. Yo, Uncle Junior was giving him the business. He was giving him the straight business. You never had the makings of a varsity. Let me see if I can find. Hold on. I got y'all, man. Let me see if I can find that. Find us a clip. Probably on YouTube. Never had the makings, baby. Okay, here we go. Found a clip. Oh no, this shit too long. This shit too long. Hold on. Okay, this is a little compilation. All right, fuck it. Let's go.
Welcome to the Just Now show. The lines are open for real callers to phone in and play a move. Do we have a caller? All right, wonderful. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, what's your name?
What the fuck is this?
Okay, Rusty. You play chess often?
I do, and I had a chess question. Actually, it's a problem I have.
Okay, what's your problem, Rusty?
Well, I'm watching this show, and I keep knocking the chess pieces over with my boner.
Oh.
Come on, man.
To win against a guy like Jeff Bridges just seems impossible.
I think that Willem Dafoe deserves.
Willem Dafoe, that guy's good.
What is that doing? What is this shit?
How about a gangbang? Easy, Cabby. No, she's not that kind of girl.
Right there with 5 of his friends.
Give me a call.
Cabby can bring over paratroopers.
Fuck that shit.
Your father never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Oh, what the hell's with you?
What?
What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap? It's undermined. And it's the kind of stuff I'm teaching my kids not to do. So I don't want to hear it again. End of subject.
How you doing, Uncle June?
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Ah, shit. Yeah. I found one. I found one, son. I found one. It won't let me play it again, though. He never had the makings of a varsity football player. Of a varsity athlete, baby. We got one. We got another one.
We lost both times. It's a line coach.
Your father never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Oh, what the hell's with you?
What?
I led it in football.
You never played college ball.
College.
Small hands. That was your problem.
Yeah, Daddy always said that.
That's not the point. And when I was a kid, you told the girl cousins the same thing. It was very hurtful. It's undermining. And it's the kind of stuff I'm teaching my kids not to do. So I don't want to hear it again. End of subject.
So coming down, I heard on the radio, looks like the Jets are going to grab that kid for Tulsa, that tight end.
I know you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Oh, son of a bitch!
What?
Did I just tell you not to say that again?
Say what?
You don't like the way I talk? Get out of my house.
Damn it.
Will someone please tell me what's going on?
It's my last Sunday dinner here. That's what's going on.
Yeah, he used to be tight. Tony used to be tight. But he never had the makings of a varsity athlete. Just didn't matter. Oh man. It says for me, the Sopranos love the Wire. Oh yeah, the Sopranos love the Wire. Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely fucking with the Wire. Hard body. JJ says, oh, this is random, but Sopranos or Wire. I was more so the Wire. And I'm gonna tell you why. It took me a while to get into the Sopranos. And I really only got into it because everybody, kept talking about it all the time. But I can relate to the Wire more. And if you look at, if you compare the final episodes, like that final episode of The Sopranos was unacceptable. It was sort of like a cliffhanger. And then Tony, died in real life a couple of years later. That final episode was unacceptable. The Wire went out the way it should have gone out. Like they did a good job with The Wire. So I'm going to go with The Wire, but I couldn't argue with anybody who said The Sopranos. I just get tired of seeing that fucking Italian mob shit. Cause they always make it seem like the motherfuckers was flawless. Like they didn't make mistakes. JJ said, I think it depends on what day you ask me. I hear that. Jason says, Tony Soprano is my spirit animal. Well, goddamn. JJ says, I wasn't crazy about the final episode of The Sopranos. That shit was ass. That shit was totally ass. Matter of fact, I didn't like the entire final season. You know what I mean? They make the fat boy, the fat, he was gay on the low. You know what I'm saying? He had to escape to New Hampshire and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. JJ says, I love Tony Soprano and Paulie. Guana says, what type of Philly Mafia stuff you listening to? Yeah. Paulie was a douche and whacked Tony in. So I think they were more creative with The Wire. It was different every season. That is what I like. That is what I liked about it. Every season was a new season. Like, yo, I did like the season where they was concentrating on the kids. That shit was crazy. Now, the beef that I had with The Wire was that they were very instrumental in trying to make all the gay people the toughest ones. Omar, Snoop. I was like there was clearly an agenda. Clearly. Everybody running from Omar. Everybody's scared of Omar. And he's a straight rainbow. Snoop. Reckless and ruthless. You know? Bonner says LGBT gang. They clearly had an agenda. That was the one thing about The Wire I couldn't fucking stand. I was like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. We can tell who's funding this. Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. Getting back to the topic at hand. Oh, you know what? Let me see if his ass is up. I'm calling Troy. He's always on. So you should just call me sometime because, I be asleep. The bed be calling me. Like, you want to participate tonight. Or not.
Hola.
Get your sleepy ass up. Tired ass nigga. Get your ass up, son. Get your ass up. You know what I mean?
What's going on, bro?
You ain't getting out of this shit. The topic of discussion tonight is jealous of the way you was brought up. So we talking about when you dealing with a friend, a lover, a spouse that's jealous because of the way your parents raised you. Whether it's your values, whether, they gave you, material things or financial assistance, gifts, acumen, basically went to work and provided for you. What you know about that?
It's kind of a real deep wound with me with the jealousy thing, especially when it's your own parent. My father, who didn't do much for me because he was jealous of the relationship I had with his father. Because later I found out that my grandfather was abusive to him and did this and did that and did all this other stuff to him, which has nothing to do with me because at the time I was a kid. So, my father really didn't want to be around this. Didn't want to be around me like that. Did minimal stuff, and it got to the point that one time he didn't come and pick me up because he said I was going to stay the night at his house. He didn't come pick me up. My grandfather went with his gun to tell him, if you ever heard my grandson like that again, I'm going to shoot you. And my grandfather meant it. But the jealousy that was my grandfather, then my father's mother, my maternal grandmother, she didn't want to live together with because she didn't like the fact that his wife, which is my grandmother, was doing so much for me.
Mm.
So the jealousy part runs deep because of something that's personal with them, but they took that out on me instead of giving me the love and the caring that a child was supposed to have. You neglected to do that because you wanted to sit back and deal with the jealousy part. All you had to do was come join in the fun. We're going fishing. We're going to go fishing together. Instead of doing that, instead of acting like a female, act like a father.
Now, but would you say that's being jealous of the way you were brought up, though?
Yeah, somewhat jealous of the way I was brought up because of the relationship I had. I was brought up differently by my grandfather than he was brought up by his father.
Okay.
So the relationship that we had, me and my grandfather had, was deep, it was personal, it was loving, it was caring. I've been disciplined by my grandfather. It's not like I didn't get hit on pop for things that I've done wrong.
Mm.
But my grandfather used to beat my behind. He used to give me $10 to go get some Chinese food afterwards.
Okay.
I think he felt like, number one, he didn't really have to want to do it. But number two, I thought he felt as though he was beating calories off me. He lost enough weight that I would just ask him, let me give him something to eat.
Okay, but okay. So, but we're talking about like when you're close to somebody, like somebody is, I'm talking about somebody that may openly hate on you, like acting like they're just teasing you, but in all reality, they really are hating on the fact that like your grandfather, shows you a lot of love and attention. It could have been the way your mom, was able to send you to certain schools, buy you certain clothes, provide for you in a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Give you access to certain things. And it can be hurtful when it's coming from, somebody that you're cool with, or somebody that you admire, or somebody that you have kids with. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, I got another one. I do have another one. The job that I was at, or the job I'm at, but I'm not because I'm out of work because I heard a job, but the job I'm at, the supervisor was jealous of me. He's jealous of me. Because, I used to work with him 30 years ago. And when I was working with him, he, I had put in for a position that he wound up getting. And the reason why they gave him the position is because they said that he had more experience than me. I'm a chef.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing led to another. I wound up resigning my position at the job. So, because I wanted to get that experience, which was the best decision I ever made. So 30 years later, working with him, he never really took the time. Instead of him learning other aspects of culinary, he stuck with the way the job was doing things, and he never really understood that he didn't know much about scratch cooking. See, there's a certain cooking that
But hold on. But were you close to this guy?
You know what?
Was he close to you? Like, is that your
Yeah,
man?
we were friends.
Okay.
Yeah, we were friends. We weren't like me and you, but we were friends.
Well, I'm talking about when it's like somebody like me and you.
Oh, well,
like regular random motherfuckers. That's
we were like that. But outside the job, we weren't like that.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about somebody that you really are close to. That's literally hating on. All right. For example,
I know what you mean. Mm-hmm. But just give me the example.
Okay, so like your girl or your wife. So instead of celebrating when you do something well, they might be like, yeah, well, I guess, if my mom had enough money to send me to school like you or to get me training like you, then I would have that too. Now they might say it like they kidding around, but they not kidding because they push the envelope often. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like for what it's worth. All right. So people who don't have shit or never had anything fail to realize how people who get things got things. You understand what I mean? So they think it's some kind of magic trick or somebody gave it to them or like they didn't have, for some reason, some people like to believe that you didn't have to work for shit. Like somebody just gave it to you, served it up for you on a silver platter.
Right.
And that just might be the person that you got 3 kids with. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Instead of celebrating with you, they are rallying against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, well, let's say if you was an only child or some shit like that. Like, yeah, well, if I was an only child, I would have had everything that I wanted too.
Right.
Like the fuck, you ain't had no control over, your parents not having another child. But it doesn't mean that you didn't have any struggles. It doesn't mean that you never had to do anything or go through anything in order to get the things that you have. But other people don't always like to give you that credit. You know what I mean? Right. So, yeah, I'm talking about on that level. Random jealousy can come from random places. They just see that you have something that they don't have and that they want. And so they can just start hating on you. And early in the program, we were talking about the difference between hating on somebody and being jealous of somebody. And I was saying how a person will own up to hating on somebody because they feel like it's, they can live that down and that might just be seen as a temporary thing. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was hating on him because I wanted that shit and he got that shit. And I ain't feel like it was fair. So I was hating. But if you but most people won't admit to being jealous because that feels more personal. It seems more personal and more ingrained in something, sinister or like time consuming. Most people won't admit to being jealous of somebody. Some people will, plenty of people will actually, but most people won't. And most people will admit to a temporary bout with hating before they ever admit to being jealous, because like being jealous of somebody gives off vibes like that person owns you or like they're living rent free in your head. So people don't really like to own up to being jealous of anybody. I get it. So you understand? Do you better understand what I'm talking about now? Yeah.
I've never really noticed that part.
Okay.
Nobody ever really came off, that I felt like was jealous. Somebody might have told me that person was jealous of me, but I've never really noticed it myself. You know,
Okay.
I've never really noticed that.
Well, that's good. That's good because you can't control the way that you were brought up. You can't control the
Right.
values that have been instilled in you. You can't control the morals that you may have gained or the ethics. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have any control over that. But okay, like for example, we've all had wayward friends, friends that went another way than we went.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say you had a boy that you grew up with, but they started selling drugs in the 80s while you went to work in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So, like even though y'all was cool and everything, even though like socially y'all may have been starting to drift apart a little bit because he's in a different kind of yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he might be like, yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't have to do this shit if my mom was there for me like yours was. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could get by with just a job, I would have done that. But there's no way I could have made it because I had other siblings to take care of, or you know what I mean? I had a baby, or shit was just different for me, and I had to do whatever I had to do to stay on my feet. While you could just take this little after school job or fast food or whatever, because you get to keep all of your money with like people you could have a close friend that might hate on you that way.
Well, I've had friends that were somewhat jealous of me on that aspect. Not so much the fact that they had to go the route that they had to go, and I stayed the status quo of what I felt as though was more morally right. They were somewhat upset at me like that. Like, so I've had people that's jealous of me today because I've never smoked weed. It is not, it's not. And I'm 55, and people, and when I tell people that, I might get the fuck out of here. I'll be like, no, I haven't. I said, because at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with, it's not so much that I didn't want to, it's because I respected the people that brought me up. And I felt as though I didn't want that in my system to negate me or make me not feel as though I can go to a different level in life. Like when you go for a drug test for a job, you want to feel proud. Look, I'm proud. I can take this drug test and bust it. There's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had friends like that. I had friends who was jealous of the relationship their mom had with me because they was more upset at their mom because their mom was like, I wish he was more like, her son was more like me, because her son went the other way to start selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I could understand because what you just said, his mom didn't provide him with a lifestyle that was conducive of him not wanting to do that. But instead of him going to school and wanting to learn and wanting to do this, that, and the other, he turned to the other aspects.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've had that.
He chose his survival mode. But yeah, that shit happens. But it's a whole different story when somebody pushes that envelope every time they see you. So somehow they always are bringing up the fact that your mom shows you love. Your dad was there. He took you places, did things with you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When they didn't have none of that. You grew up in a house. They grew up in an apartment. Shit like that. And they always seem to remind you of that. And it's worse when it's your woman. Because instead of being inclusive and joining in and your life celebrations, she talking about how the only reason you got it is because, let's take a scenario like this.
I can give you one.
Hold on.
Scenario.
Hold on. Here's a good one. I think this is a good one. Your parents hooked you up with, they got you a job through their connections.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got you a good job. Well, they may not have even gotten you the job, but they got you the connection. You know what I mean? You still had to put in the work, and you were able to keep yourself employed. So, you know, they may have made a phone call or made some phone calls like, look out for my boy, you know, you fill out the application or the resume is coming through or whatever, you know, whatever you can do for him. I appreciate it. They may have set it up for you to get your foot in the door, but they ain't do the work. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of how you got in, you were able to maintain because of what you did and what you were doing.
If people don't understand that part, you still have to, just because you got the job, don't mean you don't have to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you got to do the job 10 times best because of the fact that the door was open like that. You know, but like I was getting ready to say, another example is, remember the song by Ashanti, Rain On Me?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the video with Lorenz Tate?
Yeah.
That is something that in a relationship with the woman, she was so damn popular and was achieving so much that he was so jealous of her that he started abusing her.
Mm.
And then in that same video, he was so jealous of her that he started cheating on other women in the house.
Mm.
So, I mean, it can be that way. It can be that deep, whereas though jealousy can make you go outside the realm of being an asshole. You know what I mean? Especially the people, like the one thing you said the most was that it hurts when it's somebody real close to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know with me doing comedy, when I was doing comedy, I noticed my people I don't think my people didn't enjoy the fact that I was getting that attention. And I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I mean, I don't think my people enjoyed the fact that I was getting that attention. And then I was able to climb up the ladder. You know, I don't think that she really understood that I was that funny and that I was getting to that point. She rather would see me fall flat on my face and not get to that point.
Yeah. See,
some people don't want you to get jealous of you because they get to the point where they think that if you get to the point of becoming something major, that you'll leave them.
Yeah, but what do you
think about that?
I mean, it happens all the time. You know what I mean? That's just lack of self-esteem and you know,
insecurity. Sure.
Mm-hmm. But it's a whole different thing when somebody is trying to blame your whole resume, all of your accomplishments on the fact that you were brought up a certain type of way. So they're trying to say that you haven't controlled your destiny.
Right.
You're always going to have random haters and people jealous of you because you getting shit. But when people are pointing towards your parents who gave you something instead of you actually having to work for it, that's a whole different situation. Because
I've never been jealous of anybody. I've been envious because I wanted it and then I did get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. You know, I've never been jealous. I was always happy to see people get to the point where they was able to do certain things. You know, I gotta be happy for a person that started from the dirt and then got to the point where they was comfortable and live, because it was like get to that level of being comfortable. You know, or just making it in life where as though I remember where you were at and the fact that you're here now. I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been jealous of nobody. I can't be jealous of nobody. Envious shit. Because I might be envious of pair of sneakers. Like, I was envious of the Bulls fucking shirts you be wearing. I hate you.
That's serious.
I be wishing this just get two of them and get one made for me. Just,
Wait till you find out. Wait till you find out my mom. Wait till you find out. Wait till you find out that my mom bought them. You know.
Damn you, Mom. Damn you.
You know what I mean? But that's real shit. Because when they try, when people who are close to you try to take the ball out of your hands and put it into the hands of your ancestors. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, they all of that, but you ain't shit. Or they just want to, they want to have a pissing contest with you, but everything they did, they got it out the mud. They got it organically. They got it through hard work and dedication. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they'll try to tell you that everything that you got was handed to you on a silver platter. It was given to you without working for it. You don't deserve it. You shouldn't have it, or whatever. Or the only reason that you have it. That's the thing right there. The only reason why you have anything is because they gave it to you. You didn't get nothing on your own.
You ain't work hard for that shit.
Not at all.
Gave you that.
Even if you worked hard for it, had your parents not showed you or taught you to work hard, you wouldn't have it. Shit is crazy. This shit is crazy, but that's the way hate works. It doesn't care about logic, not in the least. It does not give a shit about logic. So, yeah, trying to blame your upbringing for the good things that happen to you or for you. Yeah, that's actually a way that people will try to control you.
Yeah.
Because they can stop you from ever being proud of yourself or your accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? If you can get inside of a person's head like that, yeah, you got them. Because now they can't even have joy in what they do for themselves. No joy. Now,
that's the fucked up part. You really can't enjoy yourself because the person that you want to enjoy it with can't enjoy what you because they hate you. They jealous of what you doing. That hurts like a motherfucker.
They won't even let you enjoy it without them. Like,
yeah.
Like, don't try to come over here with it, but you can't even, they don't even want you to privately feel good about yourself. And that's your fucking love? That's your man's? That's your girl? That's your wife? That's your husband? Come on, man. Come on. And constantly trying to play it off like, I only be playing with you when I say that. Like, nah, you're not. I understand why you're saying that I understand why you're saying that you are, because you know deep down in your heart that is wrong to do that and feel that way. But you really can't help it because that's the way you feel. You literally feel that way. And it's fucked up. But yeah. Yeah. So the only reason that you got in the green field, because your mom and them knew somebody, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, my grandmother knew. Shit, my grandmother knew John Anderson. I don't know if you remember who John Anderson was.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, fucking city councilman. Met him a couple times. Nicest guy in the world, God rest his soul. She knew fucking John Street, Milton Street. Shit. She knew Ann Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
So she was good friends with all of them. I was in the political game, we might say. You know what I mean? Because, you know, she was teaching me a lot about politics and rubbing ends with people. So, I mean, you know, that was the main reason why I was able to get in Durham. I was able to get in Greenfield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I got done there, she wanted me to go to engineering and science, but she said, well, if you don't go there, you can just go to Bach. She got me in Bach. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and people was upset at that, you know, yeah, it was some type of, damn, how you get in Greenfield? That's one of the top schools in the city. You ain't that smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you, I mean, they may have never been in a classroom with you before, so they can't speak to whether you're smart or not. All they know is that because of your parental connections and your parental involvement, you were able to get something that they weren't able to get, and they feel some kind of way about it. But they may be pushing that envelope or mentioning that quasi fact that the only reason that you have anything or can do anything is because of the way your parents raised you. So the reason that they can't get along with anybody is because, you know, because of the way they grew up, you know, they weren't able to trust anybody. But the only reason that you are able to be diplomatic and have people gravitate towards you and all of that is because of the way your mom taught you how to be. As if your mom can give you magnetism. It's crazy. But once again,
motherfuckers don't. Yeah, people don't want. They don't want you. You ever be around somebody that don't want you to be funny? Well, the only reason why you're funny could be a comedian. You ever been around somebody that did that?
Listen, look. You already know, like, motherfuckers are not going to say things to me openly, except they will say if I don't do well, they're going to talk about that very openly. But if I do well, it's a fluke.
I'm talking about, I went out with a couple of my boys before, and we was up here busting it up with the girl, busting around females and stuff, and I got them laughing. Oh yeah, I do know he do comedy, right? Well, there you go.
Yeah. But like I said, you know, hating on, jealous of the way you were brought up. Like, damn. So your values, your morals, your energy, your attraction, your ability to put a team together or generate a crowd. You personally have nothing to do with that. It was the way they'll tell you that you don't personally have anything to do with that. It's because your mom or your dad is because they made you that way.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just don't like the fact that, let's say you know how to cook. But yeah, if my mom was around and she taught me how to cook, I would know how to cook too. Like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or the fact that
only reason why you know how to cook, because you was always on punishment all the time, and so your mom had you in the kitchen with her.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't know shit.
Yeah, well, and they might say that, and they might mean that. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is not just something. They're not just blowing smoke at this shit. They mean this shit from the bottom of their heart. They don't want to give you your flowers. They don't want to give you any of your accolades. You know, they don't want to give you no credit for nothing. They don't really want to give it to your parents either. But they the ones who showed you how to do it. So the only reason that, like I said, that you're able to attract a crowd or, you know, generate a crowd or talk to people a certain type of way is because your parents taught you how to do that. And if they had parents that, you know, took their time with them and showed them how to
socialize, pretty much.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that book that came out a while ago. What they say? How to Make Friends and Influence People. Remember that book?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How to Make Friends and Influence People. Yeah. That type shit. Yeah, the only reason you can read is because your mom.
Having an opportunity to read with you.
Right? She used to read to you before you went to bed. She used to read to you before you went to bed. All I got was an ass whooping before bed. And I had to sleep for dinner.
Shit, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Matter of fact, I was jealous of one guy. His name at Greenfield, right? Roderick Chandler, smart as a motherfucker. He knew the definition of and could spell every word. Knew the definition of damn near every word in the dictionary.
Mm.
I hated Roderick. Damn you, Roderick. And if you hear this, Roderick, I hated you, but you're a good person.
I mean, the thing is, but you didn't blame his parents for this shit.
No, I ain't blaming none. You can't blame his parents. The boy he just knew. I blame his parents for making him sit down and read the damn dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
He knew the damn abbreviation. He was in one of them national spelling bees.
Man.
And when we were sitting in class, I know Miss Danish would be like, Roderick, can you spell this word for me and give me the definition?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, you bitch. How do you do that? Making us look like he's dumb. You know Roderick know it.
I heard a popular local Philly comedian who stands 6'5" hate on Kevin Hart. This is before Kevin Hart was damn near billionaire. Kevin Hart, and they were saying like, well, yeah, I heard him say, yeah, if my parents could finance me just going on the road, like going up to New York and paying for my apartment and all of that kind of stuff. Shoot, yeah, I could get that far too. And I was like, listen to this. Like, are y'all listening? Are y'all hearing what the fuck I'm hearing? Straight hate.
Yeah.
This particular comedian went to and graduated from Cardinal Doherty. So doesn't sound like that school ain't free.
No, it ain't.
Now it was very well known, and one thing I will say about that particular high school, I know some losers who graduated from there. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, they both came from means. Neither one of them grew up poor. So to hear this shit like, well, yeah, first of all, Kevin Hart was a grown man at the time. And so was the 6'5" comedian who was hating. I mean, we're not talking about, Kevin Hart is younger, so maybe he was still in his 20s at the time, but not the 6'5" comedian. He's already in his 30s. Like, ain't nobody fucking gonna be paying for you, you know what I mean, to go up to New York. But it was like, my parents had enough money to just, finance me when now all I have to do now is write jokes and make appearances and get on stage. Yeah, I would have that too. I was like, man, that's when I knew. I was like, this nigga is ass. But it go the way it go. And like I said, hate does not deal with logic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know hate don't deal with logic because we got the born there hate me. He just having fun typing shit in for no fucking reason. Hate me.
Yeah.
First we had Satan, and now we got hate me. Satan and hate me. What a world.
Right.
What a wonderful world.
So what we gonna do is we gonna do these birthday shout outs and then we gonna get on up out of here.
Well, at least you know you can call. You know, count. You know, I just want to say this to you, bro. Count on me to thick and thin. Our friendship now will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong. Promise you, I will carry on. You know what I mean?
Can I count on you to still be there? Don't
be afraid.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, okay, fine. Thank you. Wow. That's inspirational.
Only thing I can say, just count on me. You know what I mean?
When I feel the Lord, I call you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And you answer me. All right, cool. All right.
Wait, one more time.
when I feel the Lord, I call you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, I
and
do.
You answer me.
Take your time. Oh, man.
Oh, my fucking goodness.
Oh, my God.
Can nobody
right
hurt?
When she just go, take time, go home. And
can nobody hurt me? Can nobody touch me? Can nobody come within a stone's throw to me? Like, damn. She protected as fuck. Like, I tried to get within a stone's throw to her. I couldn't do it. I don't even understand why. Shit.
I'm telling you, boy. Love everybody in the chat, man. Love everybody. Hate me. I love you, bro. You want somebody to hate you. Satan, I love God. So we gonna turn. I love you too, because God want me to love my enemies. So enjoy your night, Satan.
This shit crazy.
Fucking idiot.
Oh my goodness.
Cheryl with the C, you know you my sister from another mister.
Right.
And if anybody else in the chat, that's the original families, I love y'all. Be safe, be blessed, and be careful out there.
All right,
love you, bro. You know, you call me anytime. That was good. At least you got to call me when you need to. Make sure you use that shit.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler at you later.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 5th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Paulette Malachi, and also Shy Moore, Kimberly Kamara, and she's raising money for the Philadelphia Obituary Project, and Aisha Houston, Edwards Pooh, Dimitri, LaShawn Malone, Janelle McIntyre, Pooh Walker, Bree, Nate North, Shy Douglas, Black Aladdin, Nakia White Spots, Chris Badson, and last but not least, Dorian Smith. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 5th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, it's hard when the people closest to you, when it's your lover, when it's your spouse, when it's your really, really good friend, when it's somebody that you are really close to, someone that you really care about, and they're telling you that the only reason that you have anything or are anything was because of the way that you were raised. Well, I would say this. I'm going to say what my dad always taught me. He said, never apologize for perfection. Never apologize for perfection. In other words, if you keep working to get it right and you get it right, you don't apologize for that shit. Let people who keep getting it wrong apologize for coming up short. But you make sure that you always stand tall for the things that you have gotten right. Because that's where your discipline lies. Man, people gonna hate, haters gonna hate, jealous ones envy, jealous ones still envy. Well, anyway, we gotta roll with the punches when it comes to hatred, or should I say hating and jealousy and all that kind of stuff. We gotta roll with the punches because it ain't gonna stop nothing. But if your upbringing is what makes people hate on you, hey, that's not something that you could have ever controlled. However, you do have the power to control your destiny now. And just because they can't see that or respect that, that's on them. Anyway, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another daily go-get-emism show. So make sure y'all come on through as we try to steamroll our way towards the weekend. Yo, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. And what up, TMC1? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right. Let me see. Is it safe to get on up out of here? It is. Y'all have a good night. Holla. Peace. Like button.